So Ernst, I see you asking about the document. If you make it viewable to the world, you cannot give edit rights to the whole company at the same time. So what you want to do is you want to allow anyone at GitLab to find and edit this document, and then you use file publish to publish it to the world. And then you put that in you do that through Bitly, and then you have Emily link that on the YouTube live stream, because you have to be a moderator to do that. So we're live now. What this is going to be about is me trying to install GitLab Geo, and I've been very involved with the team and making sure that we have the right set of priorities, even the architecture, but I've never actually used the product. And during the user-generated content sessions, I did not attend a session about GitLab Geo, so I'm looking forward to experiencing this. We got 11 people watching here at GitLab, and I'm gonna start sharing my screen and see what is up. So this is my screen. And I'm gonna make sure I can see the chat, but I'm also make sure that I can see the doc. And then in the live chat, Ernst will share a link to the document. Now I got at least one terminal, and this is a thing that will be the primary. And then on here, I'm gonna look for instructions. This is a Chrome screen. And I should also look at the secondary. I want to get a new window, Xterm 2, and get the secondary. And thanks, James, for hooking me up with that. Now let's go to Google. So GitLab geographic clone. It gives me a very interesting link, GitLab Geo. It's in beta, not for long. It's the overview. This overview, clone and fetch. They both push to San Francisco. It's interesting, they both push to the San Francisco team. I'm not sure, I think it's about servers, not teams. And Kirsten is in the Netherlands, which is interesting. Anyway, I think this graphic is a bit off, but this looks nice. I got to use CentOS or Ubuntu. I can do that. LDAP. Finally, setup instructions. Install GitLab Enterprise Edition. Awesome. Let's open that in a new tab. Install. There's a handy button to copy to clipboard. Let's do that. Oh no, it didn't copy to clipboard because that doesn't work on modern browsers anymore or something. Do we need Flash for that? I'm not sure. Copy paste this. It doesn't work. Oh my goodness, our installation instructions don't have the part that you should run apt-get updates, apt-get configure. Can someone start taking notes in the document? So this is the live demo doc. I'm missing, what am I missing? I'm missing some part of Chrome. So James, I messed up a bit in our Geo Live demo doc. Can you link to the to take notes? I'm going to run a sudo apt-get update, which I hope will resolve the problem. Select internet site, press enter. Not sure that was internal or external, but I don't care about the email anyway. And then I do this. So Eric Johnson pasted a link to the HTML5 clipboard API, which is good. James, if you're looking, I still would like a link to the doc. Okay, that works too. In the notes, we have item 3. Maybe we can have a numbered list there. Let's see. Repository is set up. External URL, that's only HTTPS, so I don't care. This all seems too easy. Or maybe it is really easy. The repository is set up. You can now install packages. Browse to the host name. Okay, I know what a host name is. It's got an external host name. So I'm going to browse to that. Oh no, it doesn't work. Refuse to connect. It's not good. Let's try the external IP address. Refuse to connect. Troubleshooting. This is a bit hard. Let me think about what might be wrong. I think the sudo bash never triggered. It did trigger. I added the package. It seems like it hasn't installed the package. Change example to the URL you want to access your GitLab instance. I still have to do this. Cool. So sudo external URL. Apt-get install GitLab. That looks better. Probably I have to do the same thing on the other server. So I can imagine not needing GitLab there. So let's put that in motion while we're waiting for the first one. Uh-oh, there's a problem. I need the latest RC. That makes sense. How do I do that? There's some magic command. And will that command work on the other thing? So this is now installing from unstable. So I hope that's good on the secondary. First one installed, but we probably have to remove it. So I'm going to say sudo apt-get remove GitLab E. That was quick. Now I'm going to install those repositories there too, and then probably I should get a warning if I try to install GitLab, like, hey, which one do you want? Maybe I can select a version, GitLab EE. It's going to do it. I hope that it gets better. 10.2.0. Let's do this. Yeah, it's installing from unstable, so that looks good. Now on the second server, it errored out. There was an error code. GitLab external URL must include a schema and a FQDN. I thought I did that. Maybe a trailing slash was missing, but I didn't. Bad me. I did it up with the primary server. So. By the way, I think the only thing we allow is HTTP, so why not add that if I forget it? Someone add that to the geodocs. Node free. See stuff about geonodes. We'll see. It's erroring out again. Maybe I misspelled external underscore URL. That wasn't it. Let's just try to remove it and install it from scratch. Although I'm not sure it's really from scratch. So on the top one, it installed. So that's interesting. So this is working. It's RC2. Let's see if that server's up. Yay, that works. Oh, I better select a secure password because this is on YouTube and people can replicate it. No need. From Remember Me, it shouldn't go to forgot your password. Forgot your password should be last in the tab order. So we gotta change that in the tab order of the login screen. Gotta add a fresh server. This one errored out again. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong here. Let me external. You think that we didn't overwrite, etc. GitLab. That makes sense. Yes. So I gotta remove that. Awesome. I'm gonna make sure that I have my URL ready for this for the second one. So I'm confused about which one is one. Cool. Well, we're doing stuff. That was step one. Update the GitLab license to the primary 2. It says 2. It's on, I think. Update the GitLab license on the primary geo node. Now, I have a backup license, but I think I can just do a free trial, right? Yeah, I don't care about that. I have to fill out stuff. You as of A. Oh, awesome. Worked. License key. Install it. Very good. It's a great flow. Love this. Awesome. I did it. That was 2. I got to do 3. Set up the database replication. What does it say after that? Primary read write, secondary read only. Okay, I can do that. Step 1, configure the primary server. I want to be root. I can do that. So sudo I, no, not you. We got some fancy command here. All right, finds GitLab control. That's super nice. Not sure how, was that added to the path and everything? It's, yeah, it's a user bin or something like that. Okay. This command will use your defined external URL. We set that earlier. Oh, and it gives it back here. That's super nice. Omnibus GitLab has already a replicator. That's a spelling error. So number 6 has already a replicator. Already has a replication user called GitLab Replicator. You must set its password manually. You'll prompt it to enter a password. Okay, I can do that. Oh, I gotta give it on a command line. I think the example should note that I have to enter my password there. And this is a bit insecure because we basically want to do this interactive. Now all of YouTube can see our password. Now it said GitLab Geo primary node already present. That feels like an error. Yeah, 7, maybe 7 in the notes, maybe do it interactive. And number 8, like GitLab Geo primary node already present feels like I did something wrong. I'm going to assume everything is well unless someone tells me otherwise. It does something more. That's great. Now what I don't get is, am I done with step 1? There's an additional step 1. TLS support. That's something with HTTPS. Yeah, it's not going to be secure, but it's a demo. Oh, I've mistyped something. You mistyped set geo primary node. Stan, I don't understand because I copy pasted this. Oh, I didn't copy paste it correctly. Thank you. Set replication password. Oh, because it failed and then I use arrow up, it doesn't do that. Like, and it's annoying because I copied it with a line ending. So I see what went wrong. I can't copy paste. Shit. Talking out loud a bit. This is not how I normally behave, but I want to make sure you can follow along. Wrong number of arguments given 0, but I gave an argument. I didn't give an argument. So I'm just going to prepare the whole thing and then copy paste it in one go because these line endings are killing me. Wrong number of arguments. Is this the bug, Stan, that I'm fighting with? Is that fixing a later RC? Should I install a later RC? What should I do? I'm just going to read along a bit. I'm all for installing the latest nightly build. Just tell me how to do that. And feel free to speak up, by the way. We don't have to communicate to chat. I should probably make people panelists, but I don't.
Yeah, I wasn't panelist. I was just typing on the commands because that's all I could do.
Okay. You are a panelist now, apparently, because yes. I can hear you. Awesome.
So I think this bug was fixed in RC2, and I think RC4 has been created, but hasn't been published. So my recommendation, we just use the latest nightly for now.
Cool. I'd love to use it nightly. If you have like what command I should run to install it, then I'll try to run it. Yeah, there's the URL. How do I get it on there? So I download. I always have to Google this, how to install a package locally. No, it actually gives you instructions. Oh, that's nice. Let's try that. Super nice. Kudos to Package Cloud for giving me instructions. Yeah, Gabriel, the wget, like that's going to cost me another 15 minutes before I copy paste that correctly. Awesome. I'm also going to do that on the secondary just to make sure. Stan, your video was off. That is fine, but in case you weren't aware, feel free to turn it on. The Sid demos geodoc is hanging on feedback, and it's missing a K. Not sure. I think I complained about the feedback after the command. It looks like an error. It was an error. I was an idiot. So that was actually good. So it was good, James. Instead of complaining about things being wrong, I should check myself first. Cool. Well, this nightly thing, hopefully we don't put customers through it, and it's awesome that it contains the right instructions. I guess it's back to waiting for this to install, and then we set the replica password. I'm just going to try to read ahead. What else is there? It's all about, I think this is all about TLS, but it doesn't really tell me in the docs like how this all works. Also, it's a bit weird. This is all in the geo documentation, but maybe it works like that. But I'm unclear of what I can skip. There's something about internal, external IPs. You can do all kinds of security things. I don't really care. DB listen. I'm just going to hope it works. Okay, so this seems to be the next thing. And maybe we have to do some trust. But I hope that by default, it trusts a bit more. It's always hard, secure by default or not. Yeah, so James, I think my point is that, yeah. Oh, I see in the doc that TLS can be skipped. I have to do TLS. I can't just do HTTP. I might be in the same like data center or something.
Yeah, so you don't have to secure its Postgres, but you do need to make sure that the primary and secondary can talk to each other.
Yep, but my point and that's taken in notes number 9, this should not be skipped. I disagree. Sometimes people don't want to do HTTPS, and I think it should be clear what part is HTTPS and what part I have to get back into it. And it's kind of weird that we restart the numbering. Like I did 1, 2, 3, and then it starts with 1 again. That might be an artifact of some indentation in the docs. Anyway, I'm going to go back and try to set my replication password. Now with the right command on the latest version, dig in the ASCII, by the way. Please enter password. Good, this was the right thing all along. So docs into show number 7, also invalid. It's just because I was an idiot. So yay. It's a won't fix, by the way. I'm an idiot. We set the password. Now we gotta, we can't restart Postgres because we gotta configure Postgres to listen on the external thing. This is probably something we have to do. So I'm gonna vim into this. Dum, dum, dum. Oh, this is about. This is it. Result the database. Some Postgres thingies. Advanced. Listen address. Yeah, this is probably it. I'm gonna start. What did he do? So I gotta, where 1234 is the IP address of the primary service. So I want to listen on the actual IP address. That makes sense. And then probably gonna do external or internal one. It's hard. Let's do an internal one. So I'm going to add here that it should listen on its own internal address. Yeah, it has all kinds of things, but it's not telling me what to do.
I think you can fill in 4 times 0, and then it will listen on any address.
Right. Okay, but I'm going to try to follow the documentation and see what happens, because I'm going to pretend I don't know that, but thanks, Stone. So geo primary role enable. I'm going to assume that was set already with omnibus stuff. Then the listen address, it's going to be my IP. Then the trust of blah, blah, blah. It's a bit down below. So it's kind of weird because I thought this was one section. Doesn't look like it. And this looks like I'm using net blocks here. So if tone is right, I can just do things with zeros here, and it should do everything. I hope I don't have to do a net block. Just gonna Google net block everything. Net block everything. That's not getting me where I want to be. Now GitLab makes me feel stupid. I'm gonna just copy paste what's in the documentation. And then change the IP address. So I was 10.0.158.18. Now there's something with MD5 off sitter address. Oh, that's above. And it looks like kind of the same, except for the internal stuff. Well, then we get rid of the internal stuff. Max replication slots. I don't see that. Why would you say something else than that? Just gonna assume that's set correctly. Oh, oops. It should be the address of the secondary here. So I'm gonna go back. both of them. The MD5 thing should be the secondary. And the secondary internal is 172. I'm going to insert mode 172.31 13.129. You'll need to use external IP for MD5. But okay, James. But in the example here for the MD5, it uses the thing that ends on 10.5, which is the internal IP. So I'm going to trust you, but then our documentation is out of date. Is that correct, James, that our documentation is wrong?
No, I think you just have to trust whatever the IP address you choose is the one that it has to originate from. So it's okay to use internal IP addresses even for the MD5. It's just when you initiate the replication, you have to make sure you're talking internal IP. So I think the instructions are okay if you just follow them as is.
Okay, just going to follow the documentation then. The firewall rules. James checked that for me. Probably it's smart to kind of have a command here to check whether the servers can talk to each other. Reconfigure GitLab. Let's do that. Something is happening to my computer. Not sure what was up with that. Our documentation page crashed, which is interesting. Oh, and now it crashes again. Just going to Google GitLab reconfigure. Not sure why the page crashes when I. Line 646. Forgot the quotation. Yeah, I should have quotes. Sorry about that. This will fail and is expected. So that's broken English. So it fails, and that is like expected behavior. I think it's better to say this will fail. There's a bug in whatever, and until then, if you get the error XYZ, it's okay. Actually, it doesn't fail for me, so might have done something wrong, or this is solved. But it should have some action. Like we can deal with failure, but it's not acceptable. Let's restart Postgres. I think the reconfigure should take care of this, right? But hey, who knows? Maybe those steps can be combined. Complete cleanly, it did now. So look, you're telling me to run reconfig and restart Postgres 2 times. Like, this is a bit weird. Make sure that it's listening on port 5432. So it's this, it's Postgres. It's listening on like the internal port. We're doing, this should be rewritten. Like is it a public or an internal IP? If you can use both, stop using public everywhere. Add the secondary. Visit this in your browser. I can do that. Do not check the box. This is a primary node. So what does it mean, this? Like this server that I'm on, or the server I'm configuring here? Anyway. This is the URL. So I think if this is about the server at this URL, it should be below this. Like the URL above here is a primary node. Do anything else? Add node. This is one, this is the other one. It's unhealthy. Well, probably want to say here that it's okay if it's unhealthy. I'm going to fix it up later. Let's go fix it up. No, we're not going to do the TLS. Check it. I'm just gonna it's the right thing, but I'll search the file for it. Vim search. There we are. Someone at YouTube commented, Mr. Ray, and you retracted it. So not sure what that's about, but if you said something nasty and you retracted it, I dig that. A variable is true. Oh, let's escape. Reconfigure GitLab. Let's see if it works this time. Yes. Set up clock synchronization. It's kind of weird that we didn't do that with we didn't do that at the other one. Still don't know how to do it. Time, date, CTL status. Update or something. Sync. Synchronize is set to yes. Yeah, well, that looks good. Maybe this is a command to copy paste and then not the yes, but NTP synchronized or whatever I have to look for. Let's move on. Initiate the replication process. It's good that we have the sudo here again. Maybe it should say, if you're not root already, but whatever. It's a long thing. So this is about the two nodes. It's geo primary, so that's nice. By the way, people, use example.com. It's made for it. It's a standard. But other than that, it's okay. Real domains don't have underscores. There we go. Make sure the script is run for the secondary server. That's cool. I got 30 seconds, but maybe also give me a way to not wait 30 seconds, like, or press enter to continue or something like that. Don't make me wait. I want to automate this or something. Executing GitLab backup tasks, that's excellent. I love how much care we took to prevent data duplication. Makes me feel a lot better. Enter the password for the replicator. I saved that thing. It's good that I saved it. No PTHA conf entry.
So the error here is that it actually can't connect to the primary because the primary is rejecting the secondary. And I guess it goes back to the whole internal IP. Here we're using an external IP to connect to the database, but we're set up for internal IPs.
So should I just change the host and the slot?
So that it depends whether you can connect through the internal IP. And James, I think you said that they're in different data centers. So can these nodes not talk to each other through internal IPs?
I'm not sure. I assume they can, but we gotta. It's a bit weird to request a host name. Well, previously everything was done on IP addresses, but gonna give it a go. By the way, it feels like I'm doing the same thing 3 times. Like I configure it on like Omnibus on the primary. I configure it in the web interface of the primary. And then I now have to repeat like which the secondary is. I'm on the secondary. I shouldn't have to tell you. But anyway, there we go. Wasting my time again. 30 seconds.
So buried in the instructions, we talk about no wait, skip backup, but it's not really clear. It's like in the 7th paragraph or so there. The second to last paragraph in that section.
Password. Let's do the password again.
So James, do these nodes not talk over this internal IP?
James, if you're talking, and you are, make sure to unmute yourself.
Thanks, Sid. When I went through this process a few weeks ago, the documentation had quite an extensive paragraph on when to use external and when to use internal IP addresses, and I found that helpful. I will double check that that is still there, but it did require a bit of reading to understand.
Yeah, but it should be a separate thing, like internal, and then from then on, just tell people like whatever you choose, use that throughout the rest of the documentation. So every time it says IP/hostname, use that. And for this, we're going to assume X, Y, or Z. But now it sometimes says public, it sometimes says private, it sometimes has a host name.
Yeah.
Checking.
Right, so,
go ahead, Stan.
So what it looks to me like these nodes can't talk to each other over this internal IP, but I could be wrong, James.
Yeah, that's correct. The 2 nodes are in separate data centers, and I didn't connect the 2 different VPCs across regions. So the nodes can only talk to each other via external IP addresses.
Okay, that's okay. But James, why did you give me the internal IP at all?
It was mostly for the primary, so that it had the internal listen address.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
You didn't need it for the secondary, but I wanted to make it consistent. And
yep.
It was clear that the docs weren't clear enough for you to know when to use which.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, I kind of have to go back and change everything up again.
Yep.
Okay, let's go back to the this one. We're going to search for the internal IP and change it with an external IP, except for the listen address. So not here. How do I now go to the next one? Next. That makes sense. Trust. Okay, this is the only thing there. Gabriel, you said something on chat, but I don't know. I'm not sure what configuration section you're talking about. Gonna give it another try with the replication. I'm gonna restart Postgres. Here I have to wait 30 seconds again. By the way, this should be live now. That is weird. Is that because I never started it? It could be. Oh yeah, because it just stopped it. So the replication password, I have no clue why that's not being saved. Why is the replication password not saved? Be sure to run this command as root. I'm running it as root.
So the problem looks like it's on the primary. It doesn't know who the secondary is. The secondary is coming as 13.228.237.0. So we don't trust that IP. That goes back to the, so it's actually the secondary.
And should it be in the configuration file or in the web node? Or?
It's in the Postgres configuration, because Postgres is rejecting this connection because it doesn't know who this guy is.
Okay. So I'm adding a bunch of things now because I'm very confused what is in Omnibus, what is in the web interface, and what is on the command line. Why do I need to supply the replication user password again and again? Stan, what do you advise me to do?
Let's check the primary configuration again. And let's check what the settings were there. So is there a trust? There's the settings about trust and MD5.
So I see check your trust addresses. Yeah, that has to be more explicit. Like name like check GitLab.rb on the primary for the exact setting, like listen address or whatever it is. Like I bought GitLab. I didn't buy Postgres. I don't want to become a Postgres expert. I don't know what all these Postgres thingies do. I just want GitLab. I don't know what like an off whatever thing is. And I'm a Postgres fan. I can tell you the new features in 11, but I don't know all these features. Stan, what do you think? Should I go on and look at the other settings?
Let's look at the where's the MD5 auth setting? Okay, so that 172 number there should actually be 13.228.237.0. So
cool.
we have to reconfigure first.
I'm gonna add an item to check the connection between the machines. Could not change directory to root, permission denied. Max replication shots is bigger than 0. I skipped that one because I was like, oh, of course, we will configure max replication slots to be bigger than 0, because why not? Why limit it? They're only used when they're used, or is that not okay? Is that not true?
So we have to check, is this node configured to be primary here? Because I think if we didn't, it should set it to the right value if it's actually denoted as the primary. And I don't think we enabled the primary role here.
I can't find the max replication slots in the thing.
So in the documentation, there's a line that says set this geo primary role enable, and I think we might have just skipped that, or did we on the primary?
I think we did it, but there was also something about max replication. It's funny because I can find max replication slots in here. But I didn't find them on the...
That's on the secondary.
Yeah, I understand. Doesn't it need a replication slot? It doesn't, apparently.
It's on the primary that needs it. The primary offers the slots.
Okay. Why couldn't I find it?
Yeah, it was there.
So why didn't I find it earlier? Max replication slots. Oh, anyway. Can't we just set this to 1, or will it influence the performance if you're not
We do
using
set it to 1, but like I said, there's a command that I think we omitted, the geo primary role. I just put this in the cut and paste. If you put that in, it will set the replication slots to 1 by default. But since this node doesn't know that it's actually supposed to be a primary, it's just going to assume it's...
Okay. Oh no. Not sure how we missed that. I. Let's put this to true as well for good measure. Chef client failed. Oh no. No conf entry. Is this because we did things out of order?
James, what is that IP? Is that the internal IP of this node itself?
Yeah, I think that's the internal IP.
So we may have to add it to this. It's another thing that we added the wrong IP address for this internal.
Yeah, that's the internal IP of the primary. 52.71 is the IP of the external IP of the primary.
It sounds like we're not trusting ourselves. It's trying to connect to its own host and not being allowed.
Yeah, I think the MD5 auth trust address should contain the secondary external IP, while the other trust auth address should contain the internal primary IP.
So we put the external IP on the trusted list and not the internal one.
Should this be the 13 dot something?
That should be 10.0.158.
Dot 18.
13, 15? What was it again?
18.
18. Well, that did something.
You have to restart Postgres on the primary.
A reconfigure doesn't restart Postgres?
No, I think there was a recent change to not restart it automatically for the fear that you might cause some downtime.
But shouldn't it check which things you reconfigured and then restart those services?
I think originally it was that way, and then it was leading to downtime because you could change anything and it caused a database to restart.
Sure, but like only restart the database if you change something that has for Postgres?
Yeah, I think there's an issue out there for that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think that's right. The second that you just had the slot name, if you look at the hint, it says your replication slot name can't have dots.
Oh, so this is a slot name. I was like, why is that URL? Why does it have underscores? So I wasn't paying attention. What did it look like? Yeah, so geosecondary mydomain.com is like, because we're using the domain in here, it makes me think that this is a domain name. And like, it's not mydomain.com, it's example.com, people, please. Yay, there's more. Awesome. In the nick of time. Configure SSH authorization. I hope this is also redundant.
It's not, because it requires touching your SSH config, and we didn't want to automatically muck with people's SSH
Oh yeah, this
config.
is not about SSH replication. This is about a SSH entry. In the interest of, well, the next step is to configure GitLab. Whoa. Wow. This looks like a lot of work. I'm going to skip this, but that doesn't mean it's perfect. Configure GitLab. I was here, right? I don't understand. Like, this list is here, and this list is in here. But it's very confusing that it's in both things. Like, we should have one list. It should be in one location, because now it makes me doubt whether I should follow this or the other thing. Actually, this is step 5, right? So don't repeat the list, because you won't update it. It's going to be out of date. Yep. copying the database encryption key. I'm logged in as root. Oh, Ray, it's hard to get TLS for auto DevOps. I'm feeling your pain. Probably want to copy paste this. Still root here. Get a vim in. Gobbledygook and say how long the gobbledygook has to be. Gobbledygook, gobbledygook. I'm not sure. I'm not a native speaker. Enable highest storage is optional, right? Should we mark it as an optional step?
There's a merge request open to mark that as optional.
Cool. Monitor the syncing status. Currently, what is synced? That's really great, but maybe if you tell me this, I wonder what isn't synced. So also tell me what isn't synced. I think it's build artifacts, but tell me. And link to the issue when it will have the issue that will resolve it. So I'm going to go to GeoNodes. I think I can just refresh this. It's healthy. And I've not created anything here. So let's do that. Let's create at least some kind of a repo. New project. Private. Who cares? I have a repo. Oh no, it says I can understand it hasn't synced, but it also hasn't, it doesn't talk about anything. It doesn't say, it doesn't understand that there's a repo on the primary now. What's up with that? An active user. Under statistics, it doesn't say how many repos I have. Should we add that? This is a repo. And it is 0 things. What do people think? In the admin screen, should it list how many repos you have? Seems like a basic thing. Maybe it has it. I can't imagine.
Am you using the admin the wrench there?
Yeah, I'm looking for the wrench thing.
In the middle of your
There,
page there.
there it is. I expect the wrench thing to be near the rest of the icons, but whatever. Statistics.
It's also other projects. It says project 0, but there's a project listed.
Yeah, but that's okay. But the project is not a repo. We allow you to have a project without a repo. So I think in statistics, above forks, it should have repos.
Right, but we see project 0 even though there's a project there, and that sounds like a odd problem here.
So 31 in /admin list projects or list repositories in statistics above forks. So yeah, that's a problem. You can try creating another project. Why not? A project. Create one from a template. Just that. Maybe in a different namespace. I can't create a namespace here. Create a group. See that. There it is. Kind of expect like Geo to link to Geo and things like that. And yeah, 32, same for the other ones. Cool. Well, I was able, with help, to set up Postgres replication. I think we found a lot of small things we can improve. However, it did work, so that is good news. But I think we got a lot of work to do to make this the documentation better. And the way to do it is to just say to customers that want to use Geo, say, hey, can I be a fly on the wall while you use this? And then just make a note of everything that doesn't make sense to them. And we should probably find out why it's not replicating right now, but I assume it's a caching problem or something like that. And we don't have a lot of time to resolve that because we got 3 minutes left. But I want to thank everyone for watching along. And we're excited to launch a new version of Geo, which is way better than the old one in 2 days from now. Cool. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day.